Chad Doerman was all tears before his court appearance, and we're going to talk about that in today's video. Hello Sofa Squad and welcome back to the sofa. My name's Paul and that's the pretend sofa behind me, and our little mascot Roscoe is still in my arms because whenever I put him down he yells and screams at me. That's just how we roll around this household. Now today you saw the intro, you saw the little thumbnail, whatever. We're going to be doing another kind of quick video here. I'm sorry, it's just busy time at work, so I'm doing these quick updates. But we're going to be looking at some footage that was recently released via Law & Crime, and this is on the Chad Doerman case. Now what we'll do, as we've done before, is we're going to do a quick, very quick dime store version of what this case is about so that we're all on the same page, and then we'll review some video clips. I think I might have like 2 or 3. It's literally not that much, but I just think it's very interesting, some of his behavior and whatnot, to see how he's acting. So anyways, so that's what we'll do. Now before we get started, as I always like to say with my commentary and that, y'all, I ain't no doctor, I ain't no lawyer, I ain't no cop, I ain't none of that fancy credentialed stuff, okay? I'm just a guy with a pretend sofa and a little doggy and some opinions on true crime. They are just that, my opinions. I urge you, I beg you to do your own research, come to your own conclusions, and talk about it down in the comment section below. Now let's go ahead and talk about how we arrived at this video, what this case is about. So on June 15th of 2023, Chad would take the lives of his 3 sons. Now he would do this in the most brutal way, and it sends chills down my spine to go through the information on it. But one son, he would take his life while he was sleeping, and the others he would chase down, like he was hunting. One he would take from his mother's arms while she was trying to save him, as well as the stepsister. And he would, again, brutally take their lives in their front yard, in front of the family, in front of people trying to help. It was absolutely horrifying and terrifying for all involved. Now, to make things even more horrifying, when authorities released the body cam footage of officers arriving on the scene, it was even more bone chilling, because what we saw were officers approaching Chad, who was sitting on his front stoop, gun beside him. You can hear the terrifying screams, I'm assuming from his wife and possibly his stepdaughter and other people involved, like people who had come out to find out what was going on. You can hear these just absolutely blood-curdling screams, and he is sitting there so calm, talking to the officers like they're buddies. They're getting him on the ground, and he's like, I'm not gonna hurt you, can I roll over? It's kind of uncomfortable. I cannot roll my eyes hard enough at it, okay? Now, clearly, they took Chad into custody, and that is where he sits now. He is awaiting trial. He ain't budging anytime soon, okay? And what makes this case so tricky, I guess, I don't even know if that's the right word for it, but from legal speak, is it's very obvious that he did this. He's not denying it, right? They showed up, he has the gun, this is what happened, so it's going to be interesting from a legal standpoint to see what he did. Now, obviously, he has destroyed the lives of his son, and he's destroyed the lives of his wife, of his stepdaughter. I can't imagine living through that. I can't imagine living through that. Well, one thing that struck me with this case, aside from the actual, horrible, actions caused by this man, were his behavior when the cops arrested him. But then, like I said, Law & Crime recently released this more body cam footage, and this was him getting ready to go to his court appearance and whatnot, and he's visibly upset. He's giving the deputies a hard time and whatnot. So I was just sitting here, I had so many thoughts about it. So I picked out a few clips. We're going to watch them, and I'm just going to make my usual commentary on them. So let's go ahead and roll the tape. Okay, so this first clip, look at Chad in this. He looks he's out of his mind, to be quite honest. Clearly, there's 4 or 5 officers. They're videoing. This is an extraction. And it looks like he's saying, let go of my arm, and they're handcuffing him. Now, you saw them holding his clothes up. He is in the turtle uniform. We don't expect anything less than this out of a situation that he is in. But you see, they're bringing him up here. They're all manhandling him. He is going against the grain. Okay, so again, with what we just watched, I wanted to put that up there just to kind of show that, the feralness of him, I guess. Looking in his eyes and seeing him being so combative or whatever, and I'm just sitting here Oh my God, I cannot imagine. Number one, you've committed this horrifying crime, right? You're incarcerated. I guess he has nothing to lose, right? I guess he has nothing to lose. Because I'm sitting here thinking, like, I would be scared of the officers, right? I mean, this kind of crime doesn't bode well, okay? For anybody involved. It doesn't matter who you are. Now, obviously, I'm not trying to say they're unprofessional or whatever, but they're still human beings. These, men and women have children themselves. And so to be dealing with him, I'm just like, yikes. So for him to be acting like this right out of the gate with them, I'm like, dude, you're gonna have a really, really, really hard time in jail and prison. Okay, so let's watch this next clip now. And this is him being transported. He's in like an elevator or something like that.
So Sarge, he didn't want to get dressed.
I'm not.
Yes,
We're
not gonna fight with him.
We're aware. We're aware.
Okay, so you heard the one officer, whoever it is, he's like, just so you know, Sarge, he didn't want to get dressed. And he's like, oh, we're aware. We're aware. We had a fight with him. We're aware. So, I mean, that's what was going on, right? He didn't want to get dressed. They had to extract him, all this. Now, you saw Chad where he cussed or something at the dude, right? I don't know what was going on or what Chad's complaint is going to be in this. Oftentimes, we find with these criminals in these cases that we follow, while they are willing to do these absolute atrocities to other people, their children, their wives, strangers, whoever, right? They have this incredible high expectation of how others should treat them. You know what I'm saying? And so in situations like this where he's in jail, I'm like, dude, what do you expect, right? You literally just blew away your family, okay? What complaints could you possibly have? You know what I'm saying? Like, it never ceases to amaze me. So there's that. Let's watch this last clip. Now, what we're getting ready to watch is him. Again, he's like in the catacombs, or whatever they call the bullpens or whatever, before they go out to see the judge. Now, in these, you're going to see a female deputy talking to him and basically being like, this is what's getting ready to go down and this is what we need from you. And this is where he's like all emotional. So just kind of pay attention to more of his body language and stuff like that. And here we go.
Okay, I'm gonna have you sit right here. Okay, so I want you just to listen right now, okay? We're gonna have the public defender. I know, Chad, look at me, take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. No, I know, just take a deep breath for me, okay? I'm gonna have your public defender come back and talk to you, okay? And then we're gonna go out and we're gonna do your hearing. Can you hear me? Do you need a second? Take a deep breath. Okay. So your public defender will come back and talk to you. You understand that? Okay. And then we'll go out for your hearing. Okay. There is news media out there. Okay. When you walk out, you'll see a piece of black tape on the floor. All I need from you is to stand on that piece of black tape, face the judge only, and just listen. Okay. Your public defender or your attorney is going to do all the talking for you. They'll say that you have the right to remain silent, and I advise you to use that, okay? Because everything in there is recorded. So I want you, again, just to stand there, look at the judge only. Don't turn to the media. Don't turn to anybody in the audience that you may know. Listen to the judge and let your public defender do the talking for you, okay? Do you have any questions for us? Okay.
Okay, so a couple of things with that clip. First of all, this is what's going through my mind. Okay, so first of all, you see he's getting ready to go to court. I wonder if they had the female deputy talk to him because he's clearly having some issue with one of these male dudes over here, right? Like he's, puffing his chest out, cussing at him, that kind of thing. She's like, look, I just need you to listen. She's being very calm, but very direct, very stern with him, right? So there's that. Now, the second thing, she starts talking to him and telling him what's going on. Now, for me, I'm listening. I'm having a panic attack myself, right? I'm sitting here like, okay, there's media, there's this, there's that, and I haven't done what he just did. This is my thoughts here. Now, again, this is speculation. This is sofa opinion. I ain't no therapist or anything like that. I personally think he's having a panic attack because the reality of what he's done is hitting him. You're getting ready to go face a judge and the media, aka the world, who's all stopped and taken notice of these heinous actions. Other inmates, the public, everybody, it's all waiting on that other side. I mean, I would be absolutely horrified. Do I think that he has any regret? I mean, I don't know. I'm not in his head, right? I mean, I would think that if he was capable of that, he certainly wouldn't have arrived at doing what he did. I still feel like, and again, this is just my opinion, I don't know him. I'm not, certified person to give any credentialed opinions or whatever, but I think he did this to get back at his wife, to get back at her. I think it was like a revenge thing, like I'm gonna get back at you. I'll take the life. It's like the ultimate control, the ultimate power. I'll take the lives of our children, right? We've seen this so many times in other cases that we watch where this dynamic plays out and the children fall victim to this absolute twisted way of thinking. And I feel like that was what was going on here. She was in an abusive relationship with him, and he did the ultimate deed. So other things, he starts crying, he starts freaking out. Did you see her? She's like, can you hear me? Or whatever. And he's like, no. And then she's like, do you need a minute? Yeah. And then he's looking at her, and you can just see it's all sinking into him, right? So this leads me to this. Okay, so this was right out of the gate, okay, this kind of behavior and whatnot. Now, the normal side of me is like, okay, I would expect some kind of bizarre behavior from somebody who had just done this, right? Because this is next level bizarre and tragic, right? You're willing to take the lives of your own children. I mean, come on, right? In this way, and be just nonchalant about it. So I would almost expect something bizarre out of him. Now, the fact that he's acting like this, personally, the only thing I could see this man doing is pleading guilty or not guilty by reason of insanity. I don't see any other kind of defense for him at all. And I think that we will see a history of, and by history what I mean is witnesses, stuff like that, of people being like, yeah, this wasn't a nice guy. You know what I'm saying? Remember, he's leaving a wife and a stepdaughter behind to take the stand. God bless them if they have to do that. The best thing would be for him to plead guilty and let people begin to pick up the pieces to their lives, if that's even possible. How do you go on after this, after having your child yanked from your arms and killed in front of you? It gives me goosebumps right now. It gives me goosebumps. I can't imagine. So anyways, so that's it. So I thought it was very interesting that they released this body cam footage here just to kind of show this is the reality. This is the after, this is what his life is at this point. He, in my opinion, I mean, and I'm not trying to be mean or anything, but I think he deserves to be this afraid. I think he deserves this. And look at what he did. It's absolutely tragic. So anyways, that's it. If you are still watching, I appreciate it. Roscoe does too. He asked that you throw some sofas down in the comment section for him. And let me know what you think. I mean, do you think, this is my big question with this case, right? Is what do you think, number one, the motive is, okay? And again, we're all just figuring this out as we go too, right? So I get this is all speculative at this point in time. But also, do you think he will take it to trial? Do you think he will go reason of insanity? If not, what do you think he'll do? Let me know in the comment section. Anyways, that's it. Roscoe says thank you. I say thank you. And until we meet down in the comment section to keep commenting on commentary, I'll see y'all there.